'Cause my granddad, he just, here we go. All right, look at there. Good afternoon. Today is Wednesday, April 14th. Can you believe it? Wow, we've been on the air with Rolling on the Road for almost a year. Oh my goodness. Can you believe it? I am so excited. Today we have as our guest Mr. Anthony
Hello, hello.
Taylor. And while other 16-year-olds were preparing for driver's ed, begging for, oh my gosh, mom, can I get a car as soon as I get my license? You know, um, and trying to decide which girl or boy or neither that they wanted to take to the prom, this young man was preparing for a life of living without full vision. Yeah. And his story kind of, touches me right here in my heart. My dad lost his vision. Wow. He went maybe probably 23 years, 24 years. Um, he was in his late 40s when he lost his vision. So can you imagine living, 40 years with sight and then you wake up and you have no sight? Trust me, that day, I don't know who was with you on that day when you finally woke up and was like, oh my gosh, I see absolutely nothing but, ooh, oh, are you there? Your picture went away.
Yes, ma'am.
You're probably going to have to put your phone on do not disturb while you're doing this because with the iPhone, every time a message comes through, it takes your video away. There you go. Um, so what we were saying was, what did it feel like on that final day when you woke up and you didn't really see your hand in front of you? Maybe you saw a shadow, or maybe there was just nothing. Now we see nothing but your ear. You got a nice cut, they got a nice line. We like the waves. Hello? Oh, what happened? Justine, do you think he's being invaded by zombies? I don't know. The zombies might. We always give the disclaimer. If you don't know us by now, on all three shows, every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, when we send out the invite and we send the promo, we always, thank everyone for, being on the show, what time we meet, what time to be in the green room. And then we say, oh, yeah, by the way, we may talk about zombies.
Sorry, my I don't know what happened. It just kicked me out.
Oh, okay. Well, you're back.
Right.
So the question to you was,
hmm
what was it like for you that day you woke up and you didn't see anything anymore?
Um, being 16, it was kind of scary. I was living with my dad at the time, so um, I was actually taking summer classes at my high school. So he lived not too far from my high school, so it was like walking distance. So when I woke up, and I could still see some, but like not a like just like not enough. So I figured when I first woke up, it was just like how it is when you first wake up in the morning, you could brush it off.
Right.
So I just kind of like try to brush it off and head to school. But when I got to school, I just everything looked different, like real foggy all day. So I just went through the day not thinking nothing of it until like I got to football practice, and that's when I realized like something's going on. So that's when I reached out to my mom and told her like, I think something's wrong with my eyesight. So she took action quickly, set up an appointment to the local eye center, and we got started on the procedure, trying to see what's going on.
Wow. I remember my dad. I mean, I can't even imagine at 16. I know how my dad felt. He was in his late 40s
Right.
and woke up and was like, he called me. He said, Kim. I said, yeah, you got to get here now. He goes, I don't know if I messed up my medicine. He's a diabetic. And he was like, I don't know if I messed up my medication. What happened? He goes, something is wrong. I came over there and I think it was the same experience. You know, his vision was blurry. It was,
Mm.
foggy. And I told him to stop rubbing your eyes. So he's a veteran. And so I picked him up and I immediately took him to the VA center. And
Right.
they were like, oh, okay. Of course, they checked his sugar, said, well, your sugar's probably off. Let's do that. And they focused more on his diabetes than they did on him not having vision.
Right.
That was their first. So for them, you're 16 years old. You just said that you even went to football practice. Did they think that maybe you had a concussion or it was from being on the field? What was their initial thought when you said, hey, this is where I was and this is what's happening?
The head coach told me to sit out a few and not take, as many snaps as I usually do. I played wide receiver, so I had a key role on the offense. So
I'm sorry, I'm a football mom, so yes,
yeah, I had a lot of snaps. So it was just like, I told him what it was after going to the doctor the first time with my mom, and she told me to like ease up from practice, but I kept going to practice, but not, like I said, took as many snaps as I was taking beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
So I took it easy up until our we usually get a week off during the summer. So after that week off, I didn't go back. They wouldn't let me go back. My parents wouldn't let me go back to practice until they figure out what was going on.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Whew. As a parent, my heart is starting to flutter and because I can mentally go back there to that day. And as a mom, to have you call me and say, Mom, you don't come get me. Something's wrong. Wow.
Yeah, I was kind of chill about it, but not as I mean, as a 16-year-old, you kind of freaking out. I'm going to my senior year of high school, so it's like, what's going on? I got things to do, things coming up. My birthday in August, trying to get this license. We got my senior year of football coming up, so I mean, like, we gotta get some things situated for this last year of school.
Right.
So I was chill, but not like real chill about it. I was like not too much freaking out because growing up, my uncle, my mom's brother, he's blind, so he's been blind all my life. So I didn't think like I knew how to deal with it, but like didn't think nothing like that happened to me at that age.
Right.
So I never knew his story until like kind of like started happening to me too. Never figured to ask. They just told us he was blind and how to adjust like with him, stuff like that.
I just think that is so interesting that in our families, it's just the way it is. I mean, it's just like, okay, you was born blue hair, blue eyes and blonde hair. That's just the way it is in our family. That we don't stop to think like, is there maybe something wrong? That could be hereditary. We just,
right.
Hey, that's just Uncle
Bobo.
It's just like that's Uncle Bobo. Uncle Bobo don't see. We just know, girls just, turn to your shoulder, give him a shoulder, because my dad be like, oh well, hello, dad, stop, don't, girls is different.
Right. Yeah, so we never got into it. We just like, Uncle Kevin's blind. That's that. Okay, so never thought to ask like, how did it happen and things of that sort.
So is that when you found out that your blindness was genetic?
So I went to a few doctors. So I went to one doctor in June, another in July, and then they referred me to Emory in August. So I didn't. From Emory, I had 3 appointments in Emory, and they ran a lot of tests from August to October, and I didn't find out that it was genetic until October. So from June to October, I seen 5 different doctors, and that's
Wow.
my final doctor, who I see to this day, Dr. Nancy Newman. That's who told me my diagnosis, and told me that it was no treatment. So by the time I'm 17, because my birthday's in August, I'm 17, senior, high school just started, and so I'm missing the season at this point because football season starts in August, and
Yes.
right. So I'm missing the season. I'm tight about that already, and then so I'm thinking like, all right, maybe I can catch basketball season if they find out what's going on. And by the time that came around, it was October, and that's when they told me, and by the time too as well, it gradually decreased to where it is now. So I was like, okay, maybe they can reverse it, whatever going on. But when I saw Dr. Newman, in October, she told me there was no treatment for it. Well, she told me I was diagnosed with Leber's, and she told me what it came from and things of that sort.
So tell us, I know that he disappeared again. Oh, right. He's playing hide and seek with us right now.
I don't know what's going on. I'm on my phone. I couldn't get it to pull up my laptop, but so I'm on my phone. The phone got a mind of its own. You know how technology is.
You know what? I do. You know what my favorite thing is? I'm handicapped. It's not my fault.
It's not my fault. It's not my fault.
It's not my fault. It's just not my fault. So I think that's a interesting point, that you made. It's like, look, all I was concerned about was whatever y'all gotta do to this fix, because I need to get back on the field. If I can't be on the field, then I need to be on the court, and y'all just messing up my playing time, okay?
Right.
I'm
All
a
that.
senior.
My
I'm a
senior
senior.
high school.
And
Right.
I'm trying to get me some scholarships because I know I'm good because I need to do my snaps. Okay, I got you.
Exactly. Exactly.
That is like, wow. So by October, you get the actual diagnosis, and by October, you have like no vision left.
So it's very low. It's little to none actually. So what I see now is how I describe it to people is I say imagine how foggy a mirror is after you got the shower. It's just you can see your silhouette, but like no print, no color, just a blob and surrounded by gray, and you could tell that the light is on. So if somebody's in front of me, I can tell like it's a blob there, but I can't tell who it is, and I could tell like light or dark. So daytime, nighttime, or if the lights on or off. So it's not like pitch black, completely black. It's just like gray, foggy. If that makes sense.
He said, I got 50 shades of gray going on that is
Right.
preventing me from being on the field. That's all I know.
That's it. I need to get all this gray gone so I can catch the rest of the season, maybe.
I understand. I understand. I really do. As a football mom, I'm feeling you. I'm right there with you. My son got concussion. I'm like, what? Just get
Right.
no, he'll be all right. He'll be okay. No.
Yeah. So yeah, it was like So when they told me that, I was like, distraught. I was like, so I can't do nothing. I can't play football, basketball, everything. It's a wrap.
You know what? We are going to fast forward. So many of you, I know how old he is, but can you please tell our viewing audience how old you are now?
I'm 28. I'm 28 now. I'll be 29 in August.
Yes. So it's been 13 years.
Right.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, the time is now. I'm gonna check our clock here. Oh, I forget my glasses are up front. So it is 4:13. We're just gonna stop and pay a couple of bills. So we want to say thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to the deaf or hard of hearing for rolling with us since last May. Thank you, deaf or hard of hearing, and thank you so much to 100 Shades of Disability, who sponsors us to do what it is that we do. And my name is Dr. Kimberly Barrington, and you are rolling with the doc today. My guest is Mr. Anthony Taylor. He is from Georgia, as you can tell by the accent.
Country.
He's a wonderful Southern young man. I don't know about y'all. I have an affinity for the men from the South. Did you hear all that? That yes, ma'am, he's so kind and so sweet. And so we are just so excited to have him on today. Um, one of the things that I think you could really speak to, and we spoke a little bit of it in our Zoom room that is of green. Yes, we're talking about this is the second year that graduating high schools will not be able to, have a regular graduation. And what would you say to them, knowing
You gotta adjust. I mean,
that you
this is
can
new.
have, here it is, you're talking about someone who was going into his senior year, played football, and I'm hearing that you played basketball as well. You said, well, if I couldn't, get on the field, then I want to be on the court. And
Right.
I know as a football mom, the importance of that senior year. I mean, they come out at any other time, but during that senior year is the time when the scouts come and you're looking for those scholarships and the ability. You need that playing time. Just bottom line, you need the playing time. And
Right.
so, just even putting the sports aside, getting your license, that's such a big deal.
I'm
Going
telling
there,
you.
taking the driver's test, because there is just absolutely nothing like being the driver, and after the game everybody piles in your car and then you drive
Right.
and y'all go, you go change, you shower, change, and then it's like, all right, especially when you
What's
win,
next?
especially when
Right.
you win, who driving, oh, we hanging out tonight. And when you get to be a senior, there's just some extra perks that come with that.
Yep.
I don't know, the cheerleaders always like the receivers, the quarterbacks, they like the running backs. Yeah.
Hmm.
So y'all tend to get a little bit more film time, attention, and to have all of that just swoop away,
Sure. Right.
just gone,
In the blink of an eye.
just gone. And I don't think, in fact, I know. Now I want to say this. You know what? It's my show. I pay the bills, so I'm just gonna say it. I was trying to be politically correct, but I don't think that there is a way to really say it. One of the things that I learned, because I was late also in acquiring a disability, and one of the things that I learned to do well and that I appreciated about my disability community was their ability to adapt and adapt quickly. You
Right.
didn't get this a playbook, because when you play football, the coach, they give you a playbook based on your position. You got to learn the
Right.
playbook. And
Right.
so when you got that final diagnosis in October, your doctor, she didn't hand you a playbook, did she, to tell you how you were living?
Nah, she just said. I mean, she gave me some resources, but it's like she didn't tell me like, all right, what to do about it, or like how to like finish out school, stuff like that. So
Right.
just go, it's like go for what you know, kind of, just
And
without
so,
sight.
huh?
I said it's like go for what you know, just without sight, though.
He said, go for what you know. And so you learn to adapt very quickly.
Right.
I mean, you're 28 years old. The adapted. the way you have adapted, you finished high school, you went to college, not only, and I mean, and in between, you learned Braille. That's like a
Right.
whole nother language in and of itself.
Yeah, in itself, it's so in depth to it's like learning how to learn your ABCs and contraction words all over again.
Oh my
It's a
goodness.
lot.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so when I graduated from high school May 2010. So right after I graduated high school, I attended a school for the blind, the Savannah Center for the Blind and Low Vision, and
Oh,
that's where I learned the Braille. I learned like how to use a computer with screen reader software on it, how
yeah.
to how to cook independently, iron clothes, how to maneuver with the mobility cane, how to identify colors with a color identifier, coins, money. The whole this how to move through life independently. And I was on the path where, of course, I was trying to enroll in college. So I was on a path, going that path, how to defend myself going to college. So learning Braille, like I said, it was kind of hard, but I was young at the time. So at this time I was 17 going on 18. So it took about 6, 7 months to learn Braille in itself, like with all the ABCs and putting the words together and contractions and stuff like that. So it wasn't bad. It's just
I mean, it's like learning a foreign language. You know,
yeah.
when you join.
You could substitute that for a foreign language. Actually, I did that in college. I tried to learn Spanish, but I substitute my Braille for Spanish because that's really another language.
Say something to me in Spanish.
Hola.
Justine, he got jokes. He just fun. Oh, ha, ha, ha. Funny man. If I had something, I'd throw it at you, you know.
Don't throw it at me.
Okay. And I wouldn't even tell you to duck. How about that?
Oh man, see, it's not fair. It's
Yeah,
not fair, man.
that's okay. You know, they got wheelchair jokes too. I know you want to push me around and talk behind my back, but that's all right.
Hey,
Mm.
gotta have tough skin.
But you want to say,
Gotta
hey,
have some-
Gerard, he's watching. We waving at you.
What's up, G?
Oh, that's so cute. Yeah, but you know, when I thought about you and all that you have to experience and all that most young people experience from the age of 16, you know, you're 28 years old now, almost 29. And I think about, and that's where we're going back to. I didn't realize, you know, I had 47 years to live a regular life, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to make some adaptations very, very quickly
Right.
when I had lost the whole use of one side of my body and my world was not accessible to me. I never thought about, oh, do you need to get in and out of this with a wheelchair, a walker, or a cane, or anything? Nope, never
Right.
thought anything about it because it hadn't affected me. And one of the first things I learned was how to be adaptable. How to be adaptable. And I
Right.
don't know if you have heard the term ableism, which it has a very long definition, but ableism goes right along with racism, feminism, sexism, those words, and they
Got
which
you.
all have the same, same connotation. And so it's the thought that persons with disabilities have no economic value. You know that
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing for them to contribute. Many people in the disability community don't like the word handicap, and the word handicap came from Europe. When these men came back from the war, many of them had physical disabilities, had either they were blind, had lost limbs, or maybe a combination of both. And
Right.
the men would be on corners and they would take their hat off, hold their hat out to beg for money, and people would come and put money in their hat. And so it's the idea of, handicap, the hand going into the cap. So that's where handicap came from.
That makes
So,
sense, right?
and they're just like, we don't like that because we're
Right.
not beggars. I said, well, I beg to differ, because we all are begging for something, regardless of what our ability is or is not. And
Right.
so in Europe, they passed what they call the ugly law. And so the ugly law basically states that, number one, you can't panhandle, meaning persons with disabilities cannot be out, on corners begging. And actually, they didn't even want them to be seen on the streets. And so they were all hid away. And of course, they started building these institutions to hold all of these persons. It used to be just for those who have mental disabilities, but now it's like, oh,
Right.
yeah, y'all with the physical, y'all need to go there too. And so not much of that has really changed, that we're put aside, we're put in a corner. So when you have something like a global pandemic, who knows how to adapt best than persons who have disabilities?
Right. That's how we've been living our life around, just trying to adapt.
Absolutely. We're used to being socially distanced from, because it's like, oh, people stare at you, so they don't want to come by you. They don't necessarily want to ask the question, but they, oh, okay, they see you and they kind of go out of the way. Oh, I'm just moving because I don't want you to, get me with your assist. It's like, no, or I'm getting out of the way of your wheelchair as you're staring, but not asking to assist. And so, as we're painting this social picture, my first thought when I read your story online with your books, and after talking to you, how awesome would it be for you to be a spokesperson to assist these seniors as they continue to go forward?
And this time, I think I can do something like that.
Oh,
Somebody.
did you get nervous and disappear? Come on back.
I'm back.
Yeah. Nope, you're not back. There you go.
These spam people keep calling me like about a car warranty. I don't even got a car.
That's funny.
They've been calling me lately about your car extended warranty. I don't even got a car.
Are you
and they
sure
calling back?
Didn't put your use you to purchase a car? What?
I see. Yeah, I don't know who. If somebody do that to me, that's crazy. Cause if it is, I'm gonna have to ride in the car too.
I know. Hey, Stephanie.
At least give me a ride in the car.
I know, right? Hey, Stephanie. We want to say hi to Stephanie. She's watching. And so, if you had a microphone right now, what you do? And or let's just even say you were on Good Morning America. Ooh, let's speak that into existence. And they asked you, what could you tell these young people today about being in this pandemic and adjusting to not being able to enjoy their graduation like they should, or they certainly aren't doing driver's ed. That they're not letting you come and go take the test and all of that other kind of stuff. You got to make this appointment with the Secretary of State. I mean, everything has changed. But everything that has changed due to a pandemic, those same changes happened for you because you became disabled. You lost your vision during your the time that is supposed to be the best time in the world for you.
Right. I'll tell them, like, trouble don't last always. That'll be the first thing I'll tell them. And, it's more to life than, a graduation. Cause like, I mean, this is an important time in your life. Don't get me wrong, because you only get one high school graduation, so live it up. But at the same time, you got to be subject to change, because change always coming. Like with the seasons, especially if you live in Georgia, you get every season in 1 week. But you just have to be subject to change, and change always comes. So gotta change is good, change could be bad, but it's all about how you adapt to the change. So make the best of it.
But I need you, I mean, they're gonna look at you, dude. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. And,
Right.
and they'll be like, you can't see it. I can see what's happening. So I need you to just go a little bit deeper. I mean, with it for me. Because
Mm.
I'm sure, how about even look at it from you wanting to get on the football field and couldn't? What do you say to that senior that's like, look, I need my playing time. I want to go to college, and they're still saying that, yeah, they're accepting college students, so I still have the ability to possibly, get this scholarship to play football, and it's been taken away from me. What do you speak to that? Because you've experienced that.
Yeah, so I mean, speaking from that experience, it's hard. Like I feel your pain because that was script for me too. But again, like you got the grades, you got the skill set, you can go do what you want to do, be it college, military, whatever you want to do, just go do it. You can't let anything stop you. Like it's gonna be slim just because of the pandemic, but at the same time, like I said, you got the skills, you got the grades, you got the talent, or you got the personality or the network. Just go out, put your name out there, and just go be who you are. Let the world see who you are, despite this pandemic. Like don't let nothing get in your way. That's what I had to learn. I got my stuff script from me, but I had to go a different route. I wanted to go to college and play ball, but I couldn't no more with my no sight, so I had to go a different route. So I just went to college and got a degree, and still here I am. So I mean, there's other things to do besides that.
And I mean, what a great segue. You went, got a degree, and you ended up becoming an author.
Right, right.
You
A
wrote a
self-published
book.
author, a self-published author.
I love it. So tell us about your book.
So I have two books. I started writing out of boredom actually. I was just on the job hunt, and at the same time on social media, and then I came across a little a tweet, and it sparked the idea I had for a play. So I just started writing. Let some of my close friends read it, and they was like, "Well, keep going." They're intrigued, so I kept writing, and I finished it. Then I sent it to a couple other people, and they went from there. So I turned that into a book. Found out how to self-publish. Got one of my line brothers to do my book cover, and then I got the work copyrighted. And my first book, Indignation, hit the scene August 2019, and that's it's a fiction based around betrayal, jealousy, and anger. It's a murder mystery. It's about a group of friends,
What?
hmm and one of the friends passes, and they trying to figure out who killed this young man. So it's real deep. It's not long. It's about 130 pages at the most,
I
but it's
love it.
available on Amazon.
So I'm just gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna buy 20 copies. Yes. And I'm gonna have my young man here sign these books for us. So, and you know how we do here at 100 Shades of Disability and Rolling with the Doc. We buying 20 books. We support you, young man. So we're gonna buy
Thank
20
you. I
books.
appreciate it.
And how many okay, so that one is, what's the next book about?
So the next book is Shooting Star, and so the young man Rick who passes in Indignation, the girl who was the main character of Shooting Star, their first cousin.
Oh wow.
So she go both of them have to do the senior year. So I sprinkle a little bit of my life in the story, just because, senior year, both of the stories start during the senior year. So with Star, she goes through life, basketball star, and she goes through like, a lot of real life scenarios, abduction and a lot of other stuff I can't mention because that'll give the idea of the book away.
Right,
but
right.
That leads into book 3 as well because her parents have some secrets that leads into book 3. So it's kind of a 3-part series. And I'm working on my third one now to finish the whole series.
So there's 2 that are already done, and you're working on the third one.
Yes, I'm 40. I say I'm about 40% done with the third. So
all right,
it should be out sometime in the fall.
We have a trilogy here, people. We have a trilogy. So can we pre-order on the third book?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. Again, we're gonna do 20 books. So that's 24. That's 60 books. That way you have all 3 books. So we'll wait until that third one comes out, but we'll put the order in for the other 2. Give you time to sign those 40 books. Thank you, sir. Give you time to sign the book, and then we'll be on automatic, standby to receive the third book. And the same people who got the first 2, you'll get the third one. So that is exciting. So while y'all don't have nothing to do, sitting around talking about you bored, you mad.
Yeah.
There you go. No,
you
have just been inspired. And it has to do with seniors and high school. Stuff happening.
Real life, everything.
Yes. That is exciting. We are now at the 4:34 hour. We want to say thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to the Deaf and Hard of Hearing for rolling with us. My name is, and I am Dr. Kimberly Barrington, and you are rolling with the doc. And our guest today is Mr. Anthony Taylor. And we're just so excited. We're so excited to have you on today. So
glad to be here.
Yes. But the book, I'm already, my mind is like, kids, everybody getting together. Somebody dies, got a girlfriend.
Yeah, see, I was gonna go in depth, but I was like, I'm gonna give too much away if I keep talking about it. So, I just like it's one of the things you gotta pick up and read. And in school, cause I was an English major, just because I wanted to graduate, and I crossed with Mega Science 5 in 2015, and my grades wasn't the best, but I bounced back from that, changed majors, and got my act together. So becoming an English major, of course, I had to write a lot of papers, but I also took a lot of the creative writing classes, which sparked my interest on like writing my own books and stuff like that. That's how I got to the point to like write books.
I'm gonna ask a question. Who did you look at to say, you know what, I like the way they write? Is there any author in particular who is your favorite besides yourself?
I was gonna say myself, but just nobody actually, because like I said, I really didn't. I wasn't much of a big reader either. It was just something that came to me. Like, I like drama. I like murder mysteries. I like comedy, drama, stuff like that, thriller, suspense. So I have a bright sense of humor and creative mind. So I can write something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just took all that and put into like a bunch of the books. My first and second book, you will see that it's a good bit of comedy in both books, but also dealing with the real life scenarios.
Wow. And you got to hear it here first, guys. Yes. The newest author. So when he makes the New York, best-selling list, remember that he was here first talking about his books and his journey.
Right.
Don't forget about us little people, sir. Don't forget about us.
Nah, never.
Yeah, that he was on here first, that we bought all those books. We sold into him. Yes. So as our time together begins to wind down, We've got maybe about 10, 12 minutes. I asked you a question. I said, what about you is so inspiring? You know, people say, oh my God, man, you inspire me, man. You just, man, you know, man. I'm sorry. Is that, yeah. Sounds like somebody you know.
It kind of it does, man. It does because like even I it's just like all right. I start even back to my high school graduation. Like it was we had it in the gymnasium. So when I walked across the stage, like the gym erupted, and I'm like, dang, everybody know I'm blind or something. I'm like, well, dang, did everybody know that or something? Or what I'm missing?
Oh,
So besides my
you didn't
family,
use
all my close
anything?
friends,
You didn't use an assist?
I walked because I've been going there prior before my eyesight was gone. I was going there prior, so I pretty much could walk around the school without like any assistance. So my best friend, his last name started with a D, mine started with a T. So they let me sit behind him just to let us sit by each other. So he walked first, then waited for me on the other side of the stage. So as I'm walking, I'm like, why everybody cheering so loud? I guess everybody knows that's what's up. So like I said, outside of my family, everybody would just come up like, oh, I'm proud of you. You inspired me today. That you walk across stage, been alive, you keep going, then third. So I'm like, oh, no problem, no problem. Even going to college and graduated, crossing Omega Psi Phi, graduated with my college degree, even writing books, people just come up to like, oh, you don't let nothing stop you. You relentless. You keep going. That you got an inspiring story. You motivate me to keep going because you don't sit down and stop, and so that just really motivates me to like keep grinding and keep going. So from the outside looking in, I guess people just see like my relentlessness and my drive to keep going. You see how I made that word up? I might put it in one of my books, the relentlessness.
The religiousness.
Yeah, you heard it. You heard it here first. So if somebody said it outside of me, like just know you heard it. I said it first.
He said it first, right here. I'm telling you, this Rolling on the Roll franchise, we do a lot of things first. I'm just trying to tell you here, we do.
Yeah.
We do. So I'm just really excited to promote your book, to promote you and what it is that you're doing. Again, I think that you have a great message to these young people whose life will never be the same. I mean,
right.
At this rate, each state is different with their numbers and how people are getting vaccinated and or masking up and doing what needs to be done, for social distancing. Um, so there are very few communities who can say that they have been untouched by this.
Right.
Our students, sometimes they're in school and sometimes they're not. Sometimes
Right.
they practice, but no, they can't play a game. I mean, so the on again, off again. But the message that you have, it's like you need to put that energy someplace else. That's not the be all to end all. Life is so much more than just those little short moments that we think are really important.
Right.
So
it's more life. It's definitely life.
So can you tell us like the top 5 things of how we should really reprioritize our life? I mean, you had a list of what you thought life was supposed to be and be like prior to losing your vision, but now that it's gone and some of those highlight, and he disappears on me again. What is this? Oh, with the hard questions, he keeps disappearing on me.
I'm back. All right.
So we have like 3 minutes left of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And what are some of your top 5? What was the word you just used? Your religion.
My relentlessness.
The relentlessness. Okay. So if you had to do the commencement speech for the class of 2021, what would you tell them? And now we're introducing Mr. Taylor, woohoo, who is an alumni of this school. He walked these halls and roamed them, and in his senior year, he lost his vision, but not his, his insight. He lost his sight, but not his insight. And so he went on to go to college and write some books. And we would like to introduce him to you right now. What do you have to say to us, Mr. Taylor?
Well, it's an honor to be here amongst friends and family of the graduates. Congratulations, graduates, you made it. And I just want to tell you all that I was once in your shoes, not knowing where I was going next. I didn't know what my next move was going to be after graduation, but I'm here to tell you it's so much life out there to live. So don't be scared. Take it a day at a time, a week at a time, a month at a time, a year at a time. Then how much time you need to figure it out, just take your time and figure it out. Like, you may fail but fall, still fighting, but don't give up whatever you do. You gotta see it through. It's so much to life, and you will see how much to life is once you get that diploma and leave this gymnasium tonight. So I commend you all for taking this bold step, and I'm happy for everyone in here. It's short and sweet. It's short and sweet to the point.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So this was the commencement speech, the national one for the class of 2021.
The commencement speech be so long, and I've attended a lot of graduations. A lot of people don't listen to the whole thing. They be tuned out because they don't want to hear all that. They want to hear something like, they want to hear their child's name being called. They want to hear their child's name being called. Give them a few encouraging words and send them on about their way.
Well, we thank you, sir, for those encouraging words. We thank you. We thank you.
No problem. I'm here all night.
And I want you to know that you heard it here first, that relentlessness
is the word to remember, class 2021.
That you have to have, you have to be unrelentlessness. And you need to be adaptable. And that, yes, that it's not the end of the world because you're all not
the end of the world. Change is inevitable. Change is gonna come. Change is coming. Change is always coming. This not the first pandemic. Won't be the last, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So change is coming. You got to be ready to adapt and adjust.
Well, you heard it here first, and we want to say thank you so much to the Deaf and Hard of Hearing for rolling with us for 1 year. We want to say thank you so much to our guest, Mr. Anthony Taylor, and to 100 Shades of Disability for their sponsorship. And I think you heard it here first from not just someone who's inspirational, because there's more to him than just inspiration. I mean, we can all inspire ourselves to do many things, but his ability to adapt, I think that's the word. And many of us have a very difficult time with adapting to change. We are so homogenous in everything that we do, and that we just are so resistant to change. But I'm telling you, the inspiration comes from, with this young man, is his ability to adapt. That's what we need to take away from him. Not that, oh my God, here's a blind guy that wants to be in shade. No. I mean, we should all desire and want to be, physically fit. But what I love is that you're mentally and emotionally fit. And that's what's important.
That's a big part too.
Hmm?
That's a big part about it.
Yeah. that you are mentally and emotionally fit. And so I thank you, sir, for your story on today. I thank you for adapting because it encourages us that we need to continually adapt and not be so homogenous and not so stuck on what we think and what we want and how it should be. But you know what? Let's just be fluid. What's happening today? Just as quickly as we have to adapt to a weather change. What did you say? You said in 1 week and sometimes in one day down in Georgia, you can experience all four seasons.
All 4 seasons in 1 week.
It just in 1 week. And how you get up, you're like, oh, okay, well, the sun is not shining today. Well, let me, put my sunglasses back and let me put on a longer sleeve shirt. I mean, just
Right.
how quickly you change your wardrobe, to
Right.
accommodate what's happening on the outside. Guess what? We have to do the same thing when change comes. So we just make those changes, we remain fluid, and we just adapt. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us. And on tomorrow, we're excited to have, where did I go? Yeah, so on tomorrow, we're excited to have Patrick Parks, who will be talking about absolutely accessible camp, which is coming up on April 20th from 9 to 11:30. So, hey, if you want to go and participate, let me know, inbox me, and we can definitely get you a ticket. Tickets are $35. However, they do have scholarships available. And Rolling on the Road does have some tickets to be able to give away. So if you want to know what's going on and what's new, uh, we definitely on this time with Absolutely Accessible Kent are going to talk about finding a home that's accessible, regardless of what your disability is. You can have a home that is accessible to you. So you know what? Tune in on tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're looking forward to seeing you. And if you want a ticket to attend, please inbox us either at Dr. Kimberly Yvonne Barrington or at 100 Shades of Disability L3C on Facebook, or you can go to Rolling on the Road and let us know that you want to attend, and we will, guess what, sponsor you. All right. So we thank you. Until tomorrow, be safe and mask up.